We live.
Live from New Orleans, Louisiana, home of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, baby.
It's another COVID-19 special edition of All Over the Road New Orleans. We're doing a show a day until this sucker goes away. From the Coin Trader Studios in Lakeview. Here's Mr. Thank you, imaginary studio audience. We sure did miss you. This is All Over the Road New Orleans. We're doing a show a day till this sucker goes away.
You missed
I'm
the audience.
Del Dorno and
24 hours. I know it's been a long time.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
All right.
I got a major announcement coming up.
Okay.
A major announcement. All right. This is very important. I want you to listen up. We're going to be on for the next hour, and we're going to have on a guy that is doing something for the community. Okay. And I think during these times that's important. His name is Richard Davies. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I first met Richard Davies a while back. And when I first met him, I thought he looked like a cartoon character. Okay. You know, a little bit. Yeah, I did. I thought he looked like a cartoon character. But he is the nicest guy in the world. And he's got at his house in Metairie, because, you know, all the Disney stuff is closed down. There's no Disney. There's none of that stuff.
Right.
He has set up what is, I guess, would be called a laser light show to music. Is that it, Nick? Was that what you would call it?
I mean, just like when you go to Disney World and you see the projection on the big castle out there. I mean, he's got pretty much the same thing going on the side of his house. He's got the castle and the fireworks and the whole bit. He's the smartest guy I know.
Wow.
So he's got that thing going on.
Yeah.
It's on James Street in Metairie. And
I wouldn't give out his address though.
I'm not giving out his address, but if people want to go see it, what do you do?
Whatever. You go.
Well, we'll ask him. We'll ask him.
You might want to charge a few bucks or something. I don't know.
But he's doing something really neat in the community. That way people can drive by in their cars, and, you know, there's social distancing and all that kind of stuff. So his name is Richard Davies, and
that's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Have you been to it, Vic?
No.
I know Katie said she went to it, right?
Yeah, Katie went to it, and
I haven't experienced it myself yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Okay.
It's supposed to be pretty cool.
Well, and then what's the music that you use?
Disney music.
Music?
Yeah, they have like a as you drive by, they'll tell you like a radio station to turn to, and they've like pre-recorded some audio. Yeah. I don't know if it's them talking over something. They did a similar thing for Christmas time, which is really neat. You know, like a whole nativity scene and the whole story. So cool stuff.
Like a special radio station that he's.
Yeah, there's a frequency you turn into.
Frequency that you tune in, and
I'm sure it's just like a low band frequency that's just close.
You're a little tinny, Ted. You might want to get closer. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if I can get any closer.
That's better.
I'm pretty dark.
Obviously, you can. Obviously, you can.
Okay.
Also,
yes,
also on the program is the heavyweight champion of the world in wrestling, in my opinion. Okay, Wildcat Sports CEO and wrestler Luke Hawks. Now, Luke is the guy that put on the event at the Esplanade Mall that we were at, I guess, before all this madness started, where his son jumped off the second floor of the mall into the ring to pin a guy, and it got like 5 million views or something.
Yeah,
probably more than
probably
that now.
10, 20 million now, which is an incredible deal. I'm standing right there and I saw it, but of course, stupid Vic, he doesn't have his camera rolling. Some other guy gets it and they get the credit.
Yeah.
But we were there.
Well, it's not like we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, and we're big supporters of Wildcat Wrestling. You know, we've always have been. So he's going to be chiming in a little bit. But real quick, I wanted to mention something that's a really good cause. Of course, All Over the Road New Orleans and myself for many years has been a big supporter of Team Gleason. All right. Now, Steve Gleason, in case you don't know, is the Saints player that is still suffering from ALS. However, you know, most people that get ALS, you know, you don't have long to live. This guy's been around, just an amazing man. What a platform and what an inspiration he's been to people. Well, he was the guy that blocked the punt in the Superdome after Katrina against the Falcons. It was a Monday night game. He blocks the punt, and there's actually a statue out in front of the Superdome commemorating that actual event. Well, because of COVID-19, the Steve Gleason Foundation is a tremendous resource for people with ALS. They raise all kinds of money. They get people wheelchairs and just whatever you need, they get you. And so they're suffering like a lot of businesses. I mean, they're a nonprofit, obviously, but they're suffering, and they're trying to raise $37,000 by, I think it's midnight tomorrow. All right. And if you do donate, they're going to put you into a big old drawing, and you'll either get an autographed Steve Gleason jersey or an autographed Tom Dempsey jersey, who just passed away. Tom Dempsey was the kicker in 1970 who broke the NFL record for the longest field goal, 63 yards. And he's got a Dempsey jersey. Okay. So if you donate, you're going to be in the drawing for one of those two prizes. Okay. So it's all you got to do is go to Google and Google Team Gleason, and that'll take you right where you need to go to make a donation. Also, I don't know if you guys notice this, but I'm wearing my pharmacist hat. You see?
I do.
Dan Snyder, the pharmacist from the Netflix docuseries, who's a close and personal friend of mine and a major friend of the programs. He is selling some of this merchandise. If you watched the show yesterday, you noticed that I was wearing a pharmacist t-shirt. So now all these items are available online for purchase. All right. Which is you just go to this website, tunnelofhope.org.
Yeah.
Now you can make a donation because Mr. Snyder, Dan, has made it his life's work and his life's mission to raise money to combat the opioid crisis, which takes 1,000 lives, 1,000 lives every week in this country. Okay, so it's a major epidemic problem.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine that. But that's true.
So he's in on that. So you can also when you make that donation, it's going to a good cause. And on that same light, Miss America, who is Camille Shriver, she's Miss America 2020. We're going to have her on the program later this week. All right, and so we're in the process. She's doing something right now. As a matter of fact, from what I hear, she was doing some kind of work today. I don't know what it was, but sometime this week, as we do a show a day until it goes away, she's going to be on the program. So, that's all pretty exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
I think you're absolutely correct. Absolutely. So you were talking about the Saints, but isn't ESPN showing the Saints game tonight?
That's tonight, yes.
Yeah.
It's that game. It's that first game back from the hurricane, the block punt, the whole spiel.
Yeah.
I forget what time. I want to say it's 7:00, but we could double check that on right now.
Right?
Yeah.
So Saints and the Falcons came in. Yeah.
I mean, because I've been watching a lot of Saints games. I have a lot of them taped. I've been watching them because what else are you going to watch? You can only watch that news crap so long. It's just over and over and over again. Yeah. Everybody contradicts himself. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Yeah. Everybody seems to be in agreement. You got to wash your hands, obviously, and not to touch your face. We all been talking about not touching your face and all that kind of stuff. But there's all kinds of conflicting news. They were talking. I remember earlier this week I was talking about the hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
And that it seemed to be. It was originally used many, many years ago to combat malaria. Mm-hmm. And there was word out on the street that it was something that they've been using, for patients that are in really dire straits, and it's been working. Now, there was a doctor, some expert that went on today and said, no, that's just bunk. This stuff will not work. So, you just don't know. You just don't know.
Right. You don't know. There's always conflicting opinions, of course, but reports, it's hard to track it all. But it seems like President Trump is in favor. He said yesterday, what do we have to lose? Let's try it. Let's, keep testing it, whatever. But it's not a new drug that really, now it hasn't been used for coronavirus or COVID-19, but it's not a new drug. And I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday. He has one every day at, I think, 4:00 or 4:30. Well, yesterday, as I was watching part of it, and it was just interesting. Is one of the reporters, I don't know who he's with, but he said, why is it that all businesses are closed right now? The grocery stores are open, and there's the essential businesses, but why is everything closed? And it was a good question. I don't think anybody's asked him, at least I haven't seen anybody who's asked President Trump that. And he really didn't answer it. He said, we'll answer that later. He goes, nobody would be happier than me to see everything open, which of course. But I just thought it was interesting that he really didn't answer it. So I don't know, why not? I mean, explain that.
I don't know. The thing is the thing is that the
he
president
kind of avoided it, and Trump never avoids things as far as I've seen. He usually answers it, but I don't know if anybody else saw that.
Well, here's the deal. There was good news out of New York today, where apparently they had less cases. The fatality rate went down a little bit. Now they're still like in bad shape, but it was seeming to be a little bit better news if you believe what you hear. Now, of course, the president put out, this thing's going on until April 30th, right? But then, even if he comes on and says, "Look, everybody go back to work. We're gonna unpack this thing. We're gonna roll it back out." It's still up to the states. So here in Louisiana, this being a really bad place for the virus right now, it really is. In Louisiana, John Bel Edwards could come and say, "Hey, May 30th." Because they're letting the governors dictate what's going to open, when it's going to open, when we're going to get back to some kind of normalcy, when we're not. So, it's really kind of confusing.
It really is.
You can't really wrap your brain around this thing because you don't know, what it just changes. The news cycle changes every hour on this thing. It's really
the death toll is high still on a daily basis, and they were saying yesterday, the president was saying the next 2 weeks are probably going to be the worst. Although what's the good news, if you can find good news in all this, it is that the new cases is going down every day. There's not new cases, so the death will be the high number. And the new cases, which is a sign that we'll eventually get there with the deaths, hopefully. That's what's going on with that. But you can anticipate that when we get close to the end of the month, April, that, if the president is still pushing to open things up, either all at once or slowly, however they decide to do it, I anticipate a political debate. Where some on one side will say, no, it's not time yet. And then some will say, yeah, it is time. The economy has suffered quite a bit, and this is a pretty serious situation, of course. So we'll see how that pans out. But I don't know. We had the sad news over the weekend that Saints great Tom Dempsey passed away. And reports today, they were saying, and they were saying that he died from coronavirus, from the virus, and they're saying that's what he died from. Well, actually, he was in is it Lambeth House?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yeah,
they're battling dementia for a few years, and so coronavirus wasn't the main cause of death. Now, I wonder how many times that's happened. But it's chalked up as a coronavirus death.
Yeah.
So it's just to show that the news reports are always conflicting, and it's hard to really know what to do. I guess in the meantime, we stay in and we're quarantined.
That's right. And the most important thing you can do is pray right now, because that is the most important thing.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, at a chiseled 200. What are you up to now, Lauren? What's your chisel? What's the weight?
Right now, I'm getting fat because brownie, cookie, cake, ice creamed up.
Yeah.
Might be 250 right now. I don't know.
Luke Hawks, my man. There he is.
What's up?
Oh man, we've been doing a show a day until this thing goes away, and I figured, let's get in touch with my man Luke.
Yeah.
So, what you been doing?
Well, I got injured the day before.
Are you trying to show that bicep off? Is that what you were just doing?
The flex, the little flex.
Wow, look at those guns, huh?
Yeah.
Look at those guns.
Massive.
Dude.
But I'm just kind of rehabbing because I was squatting really heavy on Saturday.
Yeah.
I lose track of days.
Yeah, me too. It's Monday.
Saturday, I was squatting really heavy and blew my back out. So right now I'm just trying to rehab it and get it better because I couldn't walk yesterday. I'm up walking today, moving around. It'll take me a couple weeks to get back to normal.
Well, what the heck happened? Did you do? It was just
yeah, it's just wear and tear. It's
Oh,
happened.
you didn't?
Just when you squat heavy and you sometimes it just gives out. So I knew it when I did it. Like I said, I did it real bad a couple of years ago. So the good thing is I live with a lovely physical therapist. So she's got plenty of work to do and plenty of time to do the work.
Where is she?
She's in the kitchen where she belongs.
Oh, man.
I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit the laughter button and I hit the truck. Yeah,
That's what I'll get hit by later.
Oh.
So, have you been keeping in touch with some of the guys? They're all, I guess.
No, we talked to everybody.
What about the Baton Rouge Bullet?
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Okay.
You know, obviously everybody's got their own little issues here and there. Everybody's a little bit different with regular jobs, whether you wrestle full time or if you have a regular job. But then, you know, a couple guys have family members who are affected by it and have, you know, are sick, you know. Our doctor, who is, you know, one of our main doctors at all our events, he had the COVID. So he's just starting to get a little better from it. He works at Ochsner. And we just announced our next show today. So I'm hoping that happens. I just wanted to give a little glimpse of a little hope. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Our March show was canceled. Our next show was May. That's obviously not going to happen. And then we have our big event that happens every June, which is X-rated. We had already said that this year we are going to announce it a few months early to let people, you know, because a lot of people like to come in from out of town and stuff for those shows.
Right.
But we figured, you know, why not just announce it now? Because we were going to announce it anyway. And just say, hey, this is what we're working to. We don't know if it's going to happen or not, but this is what we have planned. And according to the government and everything that's going on, we'll know if it happens or not. But look, plan on June 27th, us coming back, unless something happens and we can't. So, you know, it gives you a little hope, something to look forward to, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We would definitely want to be there. Is it where's it going to be? Is it going to be at the Pontchartrain Center?
No, that's the Shamrock. That's the adults only show.
Oh, the Shamrock. Cool. That's a great venue.
What was the wrestler I saw in the promo that's going to be joining the squad for at least the event?
Too Cold Scorpio. He's a huge legend. I mean, one of the guys who actually broke barriers for high flying wrestling, especially, and he's not a small guy. He was like a, you know, an average sized heavy guy that used to move like he was 150 pounds. So he was doing crazy moves, crazy moonsaults and flips and 450s, very agile and athletic. He broke barriers with that. So like early on, guys were like him and Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, guys were tearing up the scene. And, you know, like WCW and like guys like Hulk Hogan and them were just like the stars and doing like the showmanship. Scorpio and Benoit and Jericho and Shane Douglas and those guys were out like just killing each other, beating the hell out of each other.
Stuff,
doing the crazy stuff. So, and everybody's like, man, I don't know how you guys do that. So it's really cool to have Scorpio on our event.
So what is an X-rated show, basically?
Well, we just call it X-rated because it's
no kids, right?
No
21 and up.
So it's the only show we do that's not family friendly. And there's cursing and there's obviously, you know, some hardcore matches and tables, ladders, chairs, blood. Sometimes some scantily clad women, a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those shows where it's more on the edge of hardcore than it is than a normal show. So we call it X-rated. And we have alcohol.
And you know, so that way you can really unleash hard body Harper, huh?
That's right.
Unleash the guy.
Yeah, he's doing all right. You know, I talked to him earlier. This is an odd view. I got to get a better view for me. I talked to Harper earlier. He's just doing some things like trying to stay sane, like everybody else, trying to stay positive and you know, at the house, walk around, do some work as much as you can, work around the house. I think there's a lot of things to be done in this time that you don't normally have the chance to do. Like, I mean, just taking time, spending time with your kids, right? There's a lot of time when kids are in school and everybody's married, everybody's working. So it's a good time to have that opportunity to go outside and just throw the ball with your kid.
Ted, can you settle down on the fidgeting? I mean, what's wrong with you?
Trying to fix my microphone.
We'll stop fidgeting.
Problem with my microphone now. But people are saying
sorry I have to come down on you live like that, but
that's okay. Down. That's okay. I understand. Sometimes
coffee. He's a coffee maniac. Who's inspired distraction, Luke? Who's that?
Inspired distraction.
Inspired distraction.
You asking me?
Yeah. It's some kind of handle. Inspired Distraction. They said, hey, it's your favorite fan that you don't know. He says John Cena is the best.
Well, I mean, he just said I don't know him, so.
I think you could take Cena, if you ask me. I think you could take him. You could take
Really?
him.
I mean, realistically, really?
Yeah, you could take him.
What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, realistically, 100%.
Can you speak up? Because he's a little hard to hear.
Oh, I said realistically, 100%. Bank
Yeah.
account wise, no.
Little bank.
Oh, well.
But this Inspired Distraction guy, he's chatting on the screen here. He says he's from Georgia, and he goes, he says, "Damn Tim." Is that a clue? Is this guy heckling you? Does this guy need a butt whooping or what?
I don't know. I can't see, so let me go to the chat. Maybe I can.
There it is. There he is.
TC, Uncle Laurel, TC Cobbins says that you would crush him. Inspired Distraction says he has a podcast and went on the hunt for others trying to do the same. So anyway.
He's trying to promote his podcast.
Yeah. Well, he's come to the right place. You want to promote a podcast, you might as well come to the podcast. Other than Joe Rogan, we're second. Yeah. The only one that beats us is Rogan. We're upcoming. We're trending, as they say.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of podcasts out there, and this being one of them, right? It's one thing we got to look forward to too. Right? We got the opportunity to listen.
Teddy, what are you doing? Just
trying to get it fixed.
Can you believe this, Nick? Unreal.
Oh,
there you go. That's better. I don't bring him back. Bring him back, Ted, Nick. All right. So you got that event coming up.
I took myself off. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. We got that event coming up at the Shamrock. Now, your Instagram, shout out your Instagram because you got a major following.
Check out the Wildcat Instagram. It's Wildcat Wrestling. Well, Wildcat Sports. I'm sorry. WILDKAT Sports. So Wildcat Sports. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And then my personal one is obviously Luke Hawks, LUKEHAWX 504. So.
And where can they find the merchant? Where can they find the merchandising?
Man, right now I'm not selling anything, to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, it's hard for me to push that stuff because, and I'm just thinking as the average everyday American person, like we all have our jobs. We all have. I mean, I'm a full-time wrestler, right? A lot of guys work regular jobs, still trying to make it in wrestling, but I can't hustle anybody for merchandise, man.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to sell that stuff right now. Like when people have disposable income and your bills are paid and your food's caught up and everything, we're out of this situation then I'll worry about selling my merchandise. But until we get
that makes
this,
sense.
I think you know we need to look out for each other and help each other the best we can, and you know, and just not. I mean, to be honest, it's not a necessity, right? I mean, I see like Nintendos are being sold out in stores and this and PlayStations. Like to me, that stuff's not a necessity. I mean, if you have disposable income to do this, great. But we don't know how long we're going to be in this for, and I'm hoping it's out by the end of
April. Yeah.
Back 100% in May.
Yeah.
But we don't know, right? So we'll see. So until I know that's when I'll start. Once we know we're back up and running, and I haven't really been pushing anything. I don't push any of my sponsors, and no knock to anybody. It's just like I'm not trying to get you to buy, supplements if you can't go to the gym. I do push the Chump Nola because the one good thing about Chump Nola is that it's a local food prep company, and the meals are great and they're very healthy for you. So it saves you the trouble going to the store and stuff like that. You can pick them up cooked, and they got a big discount going on right now too. So they've been doing a lot of helping out the community, like going to hospitals and feeding the hospital staff and everything like that. They're just picking random hospitals. They just set something up with Oshner to go feed all the doctors and the nurses and the staff that are working for free. You know what I mean? So they're doing a lot. So and everybody's got to eat. So if you need food, look up chumpnola.com and you can get everything very, very, very at a reasonable price, pretty cheap. You can get it either the pre-made meals or you can get it made by the pound. You can get the meat and vegetables by the pound. It just saves you trip from going to the grocery store.
Right.
So everybody's got to eat. So if you can go pick it, you order by a Thursday night and you pick it up on Monday mornings. So.
Well, listen, I've been using the Morph.
Oh, you like the Morph, huh? It's good. I love it.
He's pumped.
Yeah. I love the Morph.
I mean, it's good for an old guy.
It's
great.
It's
using the Morph, baby.
Great.
I'm almost out of the first one. I got to get some more.
I can't wait for the gyms to open back up.
Yeah, well, I got one in the back of the house, so.
Yeah, I have one too. So I go to Wildcat and work out.
But it's not the same. I know. It's not the same.
Of course, you want to be around your social, gym buddies. Go see everybody, wave, say hi, fist pump, do it all.
All right, buddy. Well, look, we love you. We got some people in queue that we got to bring on. We're going to bring on Darren Mulligan here in a second. Go ahead.
Anytime you want me on, holla.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Hey, stand by. Don't leave because we got Darren Mulligan coming on. He's with We Are Messengers. He's going to do a little song for us. So we're going to get him on. But hey, thanks a lot, Luke. We love you, and we'll keep us informed on what's going on because we're big supporters of Wildcat sports.
Stay off the Twinkies.
Yeah. We don't want you getting fat on us.
It's hard, I know.
Hey, we hope that show happens in June too, and if so, we'll be there.
I hope so too. So if y'all need anything, call me. Safe and social distance, man. Be safe.
All right, I'll have to talk to my pastor and see if he'll let me go. If he'll let me go, I'll show up because it is X-rated. But we love you, okay?
Okay. Appreciate
All
it.
right, Teddy, go ahead. Go away. Give us the spiel. Let's bring in Darren.
Well, let's
here.
bring in Darren. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, Darren.
Hey,
Darren Mulligan. We love We Are Messengers. We do.
Yeah, you're a little late to the party, Darren, but that's okay. That's okay.
Well, it's
How are
better
you?
than tomorrow. I thought it was tomorrow. That's why I was calling you going. Everything's all right.
Now, I don't think anywhere in my messages to you said tomorrow, but nevertheless, this is Darren Mulligan from We Are Messengers, the band. And, man, it's good to have you on. Are you in Nashville right now?
I am Spring Hill, just outside Nashville, so about 20 miles.
Okay.
I'm going to turn this around. Is that weird?
Okay.
Does that look okay?
No, that's better right there.
Oh, that's better.
Perfect.
Maybe if you could turn the microphone up a little bit. I don't know if you have capability of doing that. A little hard to
I'll
hear.
talk a bit louder. There you go.
Okay.
There we go. I see you.
All right.
looks good.
Darren, where
Well,
are you originally from? Where are you originally from?
Me, I'm from Ireland.
Yeah.
Born and
There you go.
raised.
I sense that. One of the 7 counties.
Yeah.
6, I think, right?
That's right.
Probably one of the 9 counties you're thinking. Maybe one of the 6.
9.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely
Is it
one of the
Cork?
32.
Are you from Cork?
No. No.
Well, I met
it's from-
Darren in Idaho in January. We had a men's retreat for some radio guys up in Idaho in the mountains, and Darren was generous enough to come out and speak to the guys. It was a small group, about 30 guys, and there's a baby. There's the baby.
That's my grandson, man.
That's a grandson, baby. Anyways, Darren was generous to come out and talk to us and gave us a man-to-man kind of talk that night. It was good. It was really good. My wife has asked me like, well, what did he talk about? I said, I can't tell you. It's guy stuff. You wouldn't understand anyways, right? So how's it going? I mean, obviously the stay-at-home shelter is in effect in Tennessee and everywhere. I think your order is pretty much similar to us here in Louisiana, to where you can go out and go to the stores and stuff like that. That's about it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a little bit more flexibility still in Tennessee. We haven't been hit that hard here. So, like, I was playing tennis with a friend there. You can still play tennis and golf.
Okay.
As long as you observe social distancing. But it's a strange thing, like kids are still playing in the yards. People are still riding bikes. Families are still going about their lives. The sun is shining. Nobody's going hungry in Williamson County in Tennessee where I live. And so it's very easy to forget that there's a whole world of mess happening in Louisiana, in New York, in California, in Washington, and obviously in Europe. So, but I think a big part of that is I feel really isolated from the fear and the anxiety. By this year, I've been reading this thing a lot. You boys might have heard of it.
What's that?
It's called the Bible. And,
The Bible. Yeah, that one. Yeah, absolutely.
And, it's been really good. Honestly, I've really fallen in love with it, and it's changing my life drastically.
Yeah.
Well, God is sovereign, and that should give us all some
That's
comfort.
it. So, are you able to get out and go to the grocery stores and go to the? Or you do that yourself?
Yeah, we go out and do that ourselves. It's funny. We've all been told now to wear masks. So you go to Walmart and you think you're in some kind of zombie apocalypse movie. Everybody's decked out in masks, and it's strange because I never felt uneasy about this until I saw that. You know? And I just heard today that in Europe, all of the cases are declining rapidly. So they're over the worst of it.
Yeah.
And so I think America, we have that to look forward to. Yeah, it's going to be hard the next couple of weeks, but I think we'll be on the other side of this in a few weeks' time. I really do.
Yeah, I think so.
And we need that because we have way too many people in our industry that are out of work. Too many people hurting really badly right now. Not just because of this illness, but because of unemployment, lack of healthcare. And our nurses and first responders and doctors, like, honestly, mate, we need this to be over so they can get some rest. This thing is it's a big old mess, but God is ridiculously good even in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go out to the grocery stores, go ahead, Nick or Vic.
I listen to a lot of contemporary Christian on The Message on Sirius.
Yeah.
And you guys are getting a lot of airplay. I mean, you're definitely in the A rotation, as they say. And I really, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. And when Ted said he met you, I go, oh my God, because I said, they're hot, man. I mean, they are hot. I mean, and you guys are very hot.
Well, thank you.
And so Ted tells me that you've got a little song you're going to do for us.
Yeah. I hadn't done it until just now. I'm going to do it now. Yeah. And the funny thing is,
do you have the guitar handy?
It is, yeah. The funny thing is that people, we're really fortunate that we get to do this, Let me see.
Hey, Nick, when he's doing this, put him on full screen.
Have you ever heard this Irish song?
No, let's hear an Irish song. I would love it.
Of all the money that I spent it in good company. And all the harm I ever did, alas, it was to none but me. For all I've done, for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So filter me a parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all.
That's good.
I love it.
Last night. It's written in the 17th century, but that's not what I was going to play for you. Let's play this. It's a new single.
Is this Love?
Go down your head when you get lonely.
Yeah.
No, I'll never leave your side. And don't go thinking you're the only one that can get it right. Yeah, you got my love, 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 love down in your soul. And yeah, you got my love, 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 and I won't let you go.
Nice. So that's the new song, right?
That's the new chorus.
That's the new one. Climbing the charts.
Darren, I love your voice, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's pretty rough around the edges, but there's another, like, what was I working on today? I've been listening to a lot of Irish music, lads, and like what we do is very rock and roll and very pop as a band, and we're left of center. But I've really fallen back in love with a lot of like old Irish hymns and a lot of Irish kind of history songs, like the fields of my lonely prison wall. I heard a young man calling, Michael, they have taken you away. All these songs about our history.
How about old Danny Boy?
Oh,
old Danny Boy?
Their pipes are calling. Not today, boys.
Not today. Not today. What about Maybe It's Okay?
Yeah, I'll give you.
Maybe I'm okay. Maybe it's okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I love that.
I'll just do the bridge and the chorus.
All right.
Father, let your kingdom come, and let your will be done here in my heart as in heaven. Oh, and Father, let your kingdom come, and let your will be done here in my heart as in heaven. Oh, maybe it's okay if I'm not okay. 'cause the one who holds the world is holding on to me. Maybe it's alright if I'm not alright, 'cause the one who holds the stars is holding my whole life.
Yeah, that's good. An unplugged version. Maybe it's okay.
Awesome.
You know, Darren, that song means a lot to me. I lost my daughter to suicide in 2018, and that song came out right after it happened. I'll tell you, I listened to that song a lot.
Man, I didn't know that. I'm
And
so sorry.
yeah, and I still do listen to it a lot, and I appreciate what We Are Messengers is doing for suicide prevention in relation to that song. As I see every time you post it, either on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, you always put the suicide prevention helpline on there, and that's a good thing. I appreciate that. Man, I was looking forward to seeing you guys. You're supposed to be here in New Orleans the end of March. Of course, that all got canceled. That was part of the Toby Mac tour, and I think there was 5 or 6 bands on that tour, and of course that all got canceled. And I don't know, has it been rescheduled? I don't know that it has or not.
Yeah, we rescheduled that for August, so we'll be back.
Okay, so August. Okay.
But I would say, you know, why we put those suicide prevention numbers on there is a lot of the times as artists we write songs and then we try and attach meanings to the songs that the songs never had in the first place. You smell those songs out, they're phony. But this song was written for that. It was written because I've struggled with myself, you know. And so I'm not attributing some false meaning to this song. This was designed so that people who feel stigmatized because they have mental health issues would learn that it's okay to help and that it's okay to be a mess. It's okay to start there. Not that we build a house and we live there, but we start there and we get the help we need. And fellas, you know this, that help is not just I'm tired of people that every time someone says I'm depressed telling you that you've got a demon. Just because you're depressed doesn't mean you have a demon. It's a medically diagnosed condition. And we need medication, we need doctors, we need counseling, we need Holy Spirit healing, we need all of those things. But we need a holistic approach to mental health, not a one prayer hit you with a white coat heals all. That's not the way this thing should work, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
You know, Darren, you're doing those songs, and it just, I don't know, in a time like this, it just felt so good, you know, to hear you doing that from your living room. And it's just, I don't know. I felt like there was like a beam of light, you know, going through me. I really appreciate you being on our show today. I really
Thank you. You know, and that's Holy Spirit, because I'll be the first man to admit, Ted knows this, that I'm a very messy man, you know.
We all are.
I wish I was the man people thought I was. But I'm trusting that God's going to make me the man He said I am. That's what I really want. You know, I don't want to be what people think I am. I want to be. And in this season, I'm allowing Him, I think, to work on a lot of that. You know. Anyway, how are you guys?
Louis said,
why am I talking to me? How are you? You doing? You guys all right?
Yeah, I mean it's bad here in New Orleans. But you know, this is a city that thrives on adversity. And you know, we're gonna be by the grace of God, you know, we're gonna be okay. And so, you know, we have a lot of faith, we have a lot of hope, and we have a lot of dear people, and we're staying connected. And what's that noise? We're staying connected, and you know, but we appreciate all the prayers, and we will keep you and your family in our prayers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know you guys, like we said, no touring and all that, but I know you're doing some things online on your Facebook page and that, right? How people tell people how they can find that.
Yeah, you just go to Facebook. We Are Messengers.
Yeah. Just, okay.
So tomorrow night we're doing something really cool, and we just announced this. We haven't announced it yet, but I've been put in contact with emergency room doctor in California, who moderates 2 extremely large groups with 100,000, you know, doctors, nursing, frontline staff. And so tomorrow night I'm going to interview her on our Facebook page, and she's going to tell us about what's really going on the ground, what the situation is. She's going to tell us what
that's cool,
what's true as opposed to what we're hearing from the media, because we're so isolated because in the media we have two people. CNN are telling us everything's a mess, and Fox News are telling us we've got this under control. And so I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of that, as usual.
Yeah.
So
what time is that? What time is that, Darren? What time are you doing that?
7:30 tomorrow night Central Time.
Okay.
Okay.
And I never really do interviews. It's not my thing, but they're big fans, and I sent them a message just encouraging them. And then I thought, well, why don't I bring them on and let them actually share that message with a whole lot more people? And I might get into trouble for that, Ted. You know I might get into trouble, but I'm going to do it anyway because this thing.
Oh yeah, why not? Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, all you gotta do is just get online. We Are Messengers on their Facebook page tomorrow night and watch that.
Hey, look, you do what you want, Darren, because let me tell you something. I grew up in Chicago, and I used to get beat up all the time by the Irish kids. I was a little Italian boy, and the Irish kids used to take me in the basement and wear me out.
What a lovely memory. What a wonderful.
Yeah, he may have even deserved it. I don't know. Who knows?
I probably did.
Well,
hey,
Darren,
man, God
we appreciate you joining us today. Thanks so much for calling in. So since it was scheduled for tomorrow, we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Is it okay if we reach out? Is it okay if we reach out to you again?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up anytime, lads. And anytime I'm free, I'll jump on. Honestly, I wouldn't have even known to get on this. I was playing tennis, and I looked at my phone and a missed call from Ted, and I was like, "What's the story?"
Yeah. Wait, it's supposed to be tomorrow, right? Well, good luck with the song, Love. I love the new song, Love. And we posted the video on our Facebook, on the All Over the Road Facebook page, if you want to check that out. And stay healthy.
Will do. All right, lads. Let me pray us out.
Okay, let's do that.
I pray, God, that pray that your Holy Spirit will go before us, that your Holy Spirit will be behind us, to the left and to the right, and more importantly, the Holy Spirit would dwell within us. Forgive us for our sin, Lord. We repent of that. We turn to you again, Lord. Lord, we want to ascend your hill with clean hands and a right heart. And Lord, we want to see the goodness of God in this situation. Help us be a people that don't divide, but that unite. And help us to use this time to waste ourselves on the gospel of Jesus Christ. Help us waste ourselves in our worship on you, God, for this whole season and for the rest of our lives. And I pray that we baby that come on crying, that they would just be so full of Holy Spirit all their days, Lord, that they would grow up to be mighty in the kingdom of God, doing extraordinary deeds, seeing the extraordinary power of God in their lives. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Darren. God bless you, brother.
All right, brother.
There's my thumb.
All right.
Thank you, bro. Darren Mulligan from We Are Messengers. What an awesome thing.
Yeah, it was good. I'm glad we were able to get him on.
Thank you, Ted. Hey, Ted, thank you for that. Thanks for saying
that. Yeah, sure. He's a down to earth, just a real humble guy, as you can tell. And he just, you have a connection with him in person or even here on
what a great guy
on the podcast. Yeah, I'm glad we got him.
Okay. Let's bring in Richie Rich. There's Richie Rich. And let's bring in Dan Schneider too. Can we bring him in as well?
We sure can. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
There he is.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Dan. You like my hat? You like the hat?
How come you
Hi,
couldn't
Nick.
get the doggone Irish guys?
Wait. What'd you say, Dan?
Hey, how come you couldn't get the Irish guys to sing Danny Boy all the way through?
Well, he said today. He said, I don't know. He wasn't up on that one.
I don't know. He wasn't up for Danny Boy for some reason. I don't know why. But everything going okay, Dan?
Yeah. It's a good thing he didn't sing it though, because I call my son Danny Boy, and so sometimes I cry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good thing he didn't finish the song out. But no, we're doing okay. How about you guys?
We're doing great. Now
we're hanging in there, Dan.
Richard, Richard, have you seen Dan's docu-series on Netflix yet, Richard?
Oh, of course.
What'd you think? Are you starstruck?
Well, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I watched the whole thing pretty much in like one sitting. It's incredible.
Yeah, we did the same thing. We did the same thing.
Yeah. Same here.
So, Dan, were you able to reach out to Miss America for us?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm going to be calling her. She's supposed to get on with me in about another 20 minutes with my little girls. So she did contact me back, but I haven't linked her with you guys yet, and I really got to set that up a little bit. She doesn't know you exist yet.
okay? Because for
Okay,
about
that's
2
okay.
days I had a blank spot with her, okay? But I think I can explain her, and we'll probably get her on for you.
And look, we're going to send you. I know you sent me some. I wear the pharmacist T-shirt on the show yesterday. I'm wearing the hat today. I'm going to send you some of our. There you go. It looks better on you.
There it is.
It looks better on you. We're going to send you some of our apparel.
Nice.
I'm going to reciprocate and send you
Nice.
some apparel. So now the guy you see on the screen there, his name is Richard. Okay, and Richard Davies
With the headphones on.
Yeah, which by the way, Richard, I don't know if you know this or
Nice.
not, but I've known your uncle for years, Jim.
Have you really?
Yeah, I never knew. I never put it together. But Richard, Dan, he's got a little thing going on at his house where he's putting on some kind of a laser show. Is that true? Is that still going on? Or?
So, do you want me to start at the beginning and tell the story?
Yeah, tell the story.
Yeah.
So, back in November, I thought it would be a good idea to put a projection show on my house for Christmas. I guess long story short, was inspired by a projection show that I had seen somewhere else. So my wife and we made this show, and essentially just played each night. So you could drive by, you could tune your radio to the station that we had posted, and then you could watch our little show. It was just kind of the Christmas story, like a little 4 or 5 minutes, kind of like with some visuals and me and my wife narrating. So now, as we're all kind of stuck at home right now, we were thinking, what can we do to maybe give people something to do in the evening time? And so we thought, hey, why don't we get the projector back out and we'll throw a show together. And then, if parents and kids are, want to get out in the evening time, they can come drive by and watch this show on our house. So that's something we started, I think, last weekend or so. And just something we wanted to do for our little community. So we posted it kind of online some places, and we've had kind of a steady stream of cars drive by in the evening time to watch the show.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I heard it was good.
Yes, Katie graced us with her family one evening.
Well, along
Go ahead.
those lines, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but along those lines, we walked down our block the other night, and everybody does chalk drawings in their driveway right now. I mean, all kind of stuff like they had a Beatles song, "All There Is Love," and they had peace and love and imagine and hope, and every driveway tried to outdo the other driveway. It's a pretty artwork.
Yeah, I got a little artwork in the front of my house right now that my granddaughter did. So it seems to be, yeah, it's pretty cool. So are you going to do another presentation, Richard, or what? Are you?
Yeah, so it's we're going to run it really until I guess this ends. So it's Thursday night. It's Thursday through Sunday, and it starts at 8 p.m. and just loops until 10 p.m. So you can just drive by and see it whenever.
That's awesome.
I will tell you this, Richard. I'm looking at everybody, in the little boxes, all the people, and you're a heck of a lot better looking than us. You are by far the best looking guy on the screen. Yeah, you just don't get older; you get better looking, huh? What the heck?
I think the more my hair grows, it helps to just kind of hide all of that.
How's Christina? She all right?
I like the headphones
she's doing
too.
Just fine.
Christina's doing fine. That's good. And you guys are quarantined? You're just hanging around the house?
Yeah, we I'll take this opportunity to brag a little bit. We I don't want to say saw this coming because we didn't see this coming, but we back in late January started stocking up on supplies because we were very worried about it. And have kind of been taking it very seriously. So we have been self-isolating for quite a while now, unfortunately.
Well, I know you're into grilling. And you should be around here. Boy, the last week or so, I have really been kicking butt with the grill. I made some New York strips. I made a rack of lamb. I'm back. I am absolutely back.
Can we get Nick to weigh in to confirm this, maybe?
I haven't been around to taste any.
I'll tell you what. I'll do a grill off with you anytime. You can't touch my New York strip.
I can't taste anything or smell anything right now.
That's not good.
What about the sugar? You still good off the sugar?
Yeah, I'm off the sugar. I'm off the
That's
sugar.
going good?
And I've been off the sugar. As a matter of fact, when I got my Dan Schneider pharmacist T-shirt, Dan, it was a little snug. Now it's getting a little loose. It's getting a little loose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're eating all that meat. got to make up for the sugar.
You gotta. You know, it's so funny because when you don't eat sugar, you don't ever get full. You're just always eating something. I mean, I'm eating nuts. I'm eating grapes. I know that's got a little sugar, but it's good sugar. But anyway, I'm just taking this time to, you know, try to stick around a little bit, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is
and keep all your appendages. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Mr. Vic.
Yes.
I've had
Victor.
this, like,
Victor. My dad, Victor. My grandfather was Mr. Vic.
Okay.
It's Victor.
Okay. Victor. So now, like, everyone's working from home. I have not really had the luxury of doing that before. And you said eating nuts. It's like I cannot stop. Me and my friend had this running joke going that we're like, cashews are like this new illicit drug, because I can't stop eating cashews.
Oh yeah, the cashews are good. Cashews are my friend.
Oh yeah,
they are definitely my friend. And you know, the pistachios too. I'm doing cashews and pistachios, all that good stuff.
But how about you, Dan?
What you been?
Dan, how
eating,
you doing
Dan?
with the diet? How you doing?
You're
not.
You guys are.
I like mixed nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do the extra fancy? Do you do extra fancy?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you do. I think if you were to pull out, out your nuts right now on camera, if you were to whip out your nuts, I'm sure it would say on. I'm sure it would say extra fancy.
Cashews. I like chocolate covered cashews.
Oh yeah.
No, you can't do those. Those are bad, Dan. You can't do those. You're not allowed to do those anymore. Okay, just between you and me. All right,
we're going to tell Annie, Dan. We're going to get with Annie and get you straightened out.
Yeah, we want you around, buddy.
I don't know. You know, why diet? Right now, I understand that you should, but I mean, geez, the world's coming to an end. So, what's the point?
Oh, thanks a lot, Ben. Ben Boyd, he just says cashews are 90%, 7% sugar when your body converts it to energy. Thanks, Ben. Good Lord.
We had chocolate today.
Ben, this is for you.
I didn't know Ben was a food scientist.
Yeah, what the hell? What does Ben know?
Oh, definitely.
I don't even know.
Is he a friend of yours, Richard? Yeah. Ben's a friend of yours, Richard? Ben's your friend.
And Nick. And Nick.
Yeah, oh yeah. Ben. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben and Frank.
I do have a question for you. Just your thoughts on, like, malaria medication, because there's a lot of stuff going on. I figured you're a pharmacist, so if I could get your 2 cents, unless that's off limits and we shouldn't talk about that.
No. I got a little something to contribute there. Okay. Actually, there's 2 drugs. There's one called Plaquenil, and that's the hydroxychloroquine, I believe it is. Okay. And whatever, something like that. Okay. And then the other one is chloroquine, which is a drug used to be called Aralen. Okay. Well, a long time ago, I took this Aralen. It's a malaria drug, and it's a little stronger than the one they recommended right now. And it had on the bottle that it caused hallucinations. Well, I'm a pharmacist, and every medication causes side effects, so I usually don't pay much attention to them. So I went to bed that night, and sure enough, I woke up and I see this ghost hovering over the bed. And I'm saying to myself, I said, well, wait a second here. Is this real? So I had to wake my wife up. I woke her up and I said, do you see what I see? She says, what do you mean, what do you see? Okay. And I actually had like this skeletal ghost hovering over the bed. So at least I knew what was going on, because, so anyway, those drugs are pretty potent. But the other drug that right now that everybody's talking about, I'll be honest with you, if I almost go along with Trump on this, okay? And if I was in the hospital, like dying, okay, or really had some pretty serious effects, I'd give it a shot. There is some science behind it, and it is anecdotal. The only problem with Trump is that he's announced this thing, and what happens now is everybody ran and got it just in case. Like everybody went out and bought all the toilet paper, okay? So, you can't get it now if you want it.
Well, how do you get it if it's not prescribed by a doctor? How do you get it? You're talking about the hydroxychloroquine.
No, people talk their doctors into writing it, but if you bring it to a pharmacy, they can't get it right now. They're out of it. So now the hospitals understand that Trump has something to do. I think some of the hospitals actually have it, I believe. But you can't get it from your local pharmacy. And it's a shame, because that drug is used for juvenile diabetes. It's used for lupus. It's used for rheumatoid arthritis. So they got people on that drug, and now they can't get it because other people are hoarding
Right.
Not a drug. So it's
yeah.
You really shouldn't take that thing until you actually know you have the virus, and you actually starting to have some pretty serious symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're in the hospital, I would say do it. I mean, what do you have to lose? I mean, I'll go with Trump on that. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I heard him say that yesterday. What do you have to lose?
Well, there were some people that were calling it a Lazarus type drug, the Lazarus effect, but apparently it's if you're really in dire straits and it's only two ways you can go. I mean, it seems to be an option, but it needs to be written by a doctor. And any medication
written by a doctor, and it shouldn't be given. You shouldn't talk your doctor into writing it for just
right.
in case, because what that does is all of a sudden, if everybody does that, and then it really sort of works, you can't get it. So then the guy that's in his house hoarding it for just in case, all of a sudden you need it, you can't get it.
Right.
Hey, this is wait until you're in serious shape and then consider it.
Hey, this right here is for Frank Reynolds. You like that, Frank? Because Frank says everyone needs a good laugh. So there you are. Well, guys, man, hey, thanks a lot for being on the show today. We're running out of time, but we thank you, Richard. Keep up the good work. And when this is over, we're going to have a cook-off, you and me. Bring your green egg or whatever they call it, and I'll take my old Weber charcoal grill, and I will kick your ginger butt.
Come over here.
Okay, I'll come over there, and I'm going to kick your ginger butt. You hear me? Here we go, Frank.
I'll leave him alone. Leave him alone with the ginger stuff.
Everybody's really domestic now. Everybody's turning into being domestic.
Right.
I know. I'm unemployed right now. Whenever this is all over with, I can definitely go get a job being a chef anywhere because I've been cooking my brains out.
Yeah, he's got the experience now.
Hey, Richard, Ted kind of took offense to that ginger comment.
Yeah.
If you look at Ted up there, that's what you're going to look like right there. You look good now. That Ted used to look like that. Now you're going to end up looking like him right there, which is too bad. Not too bad because he's an old guy.
Hey,
yeah, there he is.
Sure.
Oh, Dan's gone. Love you, Dan. Love you, Dan. All right, guys. Hey.
Yeah, Dan.
We thank you for joining us today. For all over the road, a show a day till this sucker goes away. This is the announcer guy speaking. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock on All Over the Road, New Orleans.
Thanks again, Rick. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. Good job, Nick. You're the best. Richard, God bless you. And give that wife of yours a little hug for us, okay?
A big thank you to Luke and Darren also. Darren Mulligan.
Yes. Oh, Darren was awesome. Everybody was awesome. The pharmacist. What a great show. This show is just kicking some butt.
We were scrambling at 2:45 about who was going to be on the show.
2:45.
And it ended up being the coolest show ever.
Well, we had Darren all set up. We promoted him and everything, and then he's a no-show at 3 o'clock, and then I call him. He doesn't answer the phone. He calls me back, and during the show, I don't know if you saw when I took the phone call, that's who I was talking to. And then I said, we're going to, reconnect you. And so we did get him on, and everything worked out real good.
Hey, Richard, don't forget to share this show with your friends, huh? I think you got a bunch of followers, don't you? Aren't you a big follower? On your YouTube show. You got a lot of how many followers you got on your YouTube show?
Hey, help us out, man.
Yeah, Richard, plug your YouTube real quick.
20,000-ish.
Well, break off something for a brother here, will you?
Yeah, really help us out.
Where can they find you on the YouTube?
Break it up.
Yeah, where you at on YouTube?
You can just go to breakityourself.com.
Break It Yourself, a YouTube sensation with DIY guru, grill master, best looking guy on the screen. There
all true. All true statements.
All true.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, okay? We got to go. We got to go.
All right, we're out. See ya.
Thanks, Rick.
This show has been a presentation of Coin Trader Rick.
Yes.
Mind your money. This is the announcer guy speaking. Good night and good news.